Hi everyone, my name's Pieta Valentine. I've written 2 books, The Resident's Voice from a Dementia Unit and The Resident's Rise from a Dementia Unit. Today's session is on assessing levels of depression. So with depression, there's the analogue scale 0 to 10. 0 to 3 is low level depression, 3 to 7 moderate level depression, 7 to 10 high level depression. So with high level, it's constant, unremitting, and always there. Moderate level, there most of the time, not all of the time. Low level, there some of the time. Now, depression's a really interesting experience in a dementia unit because, you know, we've done so much on anxiety, which is so prevalent in a dementia unit. And of course, anger, flaring is a real issue. But depression is different, actually. What I've noticed anyway is that if it's a poorly functioning unit, with, no engagement and no communication with each other, and the residents are shut down and shut off from themselves and each other, which I experienced early on in my career with this work, often you need to think about whether it's medication. If the whole unit, if at the unit that your mother or relative is in and everyone is just like shut down and shut off, it could well be that, there's having too much medication, including your mother. So this is something that really needs to be worked on. It's a big subject. I do go into this in detail, I have to say, in this book, The Resident's Voice. But really, if you notice that your mother is depressed, practically all the time, and you just can't get anything from her, she may well be up, near the high level depression. I think it's really worth considering talking to the doctor about the medication, and the medical staff, because, and upskilling, getting out the clinical notes, reading them up, looking at the side effects of the medication, the dosages, so that you can ask informed questions and get informed answers from the doctors and nurses. So you're on board with the team, really get on side. When you think, when the medication may be impacting on your mother, this is when you really have to become absolutely serious about studying up the notes and knowing about every aspect actually of your mother's care, her medication, and what's going on. I mean, if your mother is happy and relaxed and has accepted the environment, she has friends, she actually quite likes living there, then you don't have all these concerns, do you? You can just come and visit and take her out for a trip and enjoy her company, and, with the memory loss and the dementia going on, of course, and it's fine. But it's when there's these problems, big problems that come in, like we're going through in these videos, this is when you have to put in that extra effort to, be able to problem solve it so that your mother can have, or father can have, the best quality of life. That is practically possible in this situation. So if your mother is really depressed and shut down, the first thing to address is the medication. And, and it may well be that she's on that she's on the right medication, and it's okay. When you've discussed with the staff and the doctor and they explain it all, that it actually is a low dosage that she's on, whatever it is, and you're aware of that, then yes, it might be something else, like maybe she needs to get outside for a walk and some fresh air and some visits outside and meeting the grandchildren and visiting friends and giving her some more experiences of the outside world. Maybe doing that will help. And if it does, if you take her out and she has a nice time and she comes back beaming, then indeed that's what it was. She was unhappy because she wasn't getting out to see family and friends outside the unit. Similarly, if she's depressed and flat because of side effects of the medication, and she gets the medication adjusted and then she picks up and brightens up, then you can see that it's the medication. There are clear-cut cases, of course, and often it's a combination of many, a number of things. So that's why you have to sort of work through it and be observant and discuss things and work with the team and, build up experience on these things. And that's the way that you can manage best, work it out best you can. Okay, so so for depression again and the levels, for low-level depression, it often is that the person's not getting enough stimulation and company and input. And so say their medication's okay at this point. So often it's just, getting in this newspaper subscription, asking them, Mum, would you like me to get in your newspaper subscription? And she may well say, well, yes, but I'd actually like that Woman's Weekly that I used to get every week, and, that's often it's just a simple thing like that. Get her Woman's Weekly subscription. Get her National Geographic subscription if she gets that. Bring in the books so she has something to read. And then next time if you go and see her, she's perkier, reading the magazines and happy over a cup of tea. Yes, you hit the jackpot. You got the point, the right point. That's what she wanted. Because the thing is, with these people of this generation, it's unbelievable. But they don't ask. They don't ask. Oh, I used to try so hard to get the residents to ask their daughters and sons to get the newspaper subscription going. Yes, we would like this newspaper subscription, they'd say, but we don't want to bother them. We don't want to bother them. Look at that. There they are, languishing in a dementia unit without their beloved newspaper. They've read for their whole life. They've got money in the bank for it, and they don't even want to ask the daughter or son because they feel they're bothering them. Practically every resident felt that, astoundingly. It was unbelievable. So that's why the daughters and sons didn't know, because the parents weren't telling them. And, it's not really the position of staff to be able to say too much, though I did at times, but it wasn't always picked up on. That's why I'm saying this assertively in these videos, where I can say it astoundingly to the whole world. I can say it, but not where I'm working, was working. So that's why, on behalf of the residents' voice, to be able to amplify their voice, to say, yes, they do want to read a newspaper. And they do want their magazines and books, and even if they can only just read the headlines, even if they can only just flick through and look at the photos of the Queen and Harry and Meghan or whatever, that's fine. It's still engagement, it's still interest, it's something. Otherwise, they're just sitting there. What do you think that experience like, The mind must be just dreadful. Nothing to occupy their mind so that they can at least have some quality of life. So, so depression, with this low-level depression, just bring in the magazines and bring in the books and let them, engage in the reading material that they were doing before, and that will often settle the depression right down. If the depression's getting right up there, assess the medication with the medical team and get that worked out. That may well settle it. Or it could be just as simple as some nice trips out with the grandchildren and fresh air. That's what she needs, and then the depression will go down. But the main thing is, you need to get results from, not that, it's not an examination, but it's just to help. It's just to help improve the quality of life for the person. And these are ways of being able to do it. Effective ways, practical, positive ways to be able to do it. And I think if you can just organise it all in this manner, it's more constructive use of your time. It's more constructive use of everyone's time, and helps the person immeasurably as well. And it's often only just one small technique that makes all the difference, And then after that, you can just add on one or two other things, and it just sort of snowballs in a positive way after that. But it's just getting the ball rolling and seeing what it is that practically does help and bring a difference to the mood of the person. Okay, so there we go. That's the end of the depression video and all the levels of depression and how to settle it down. And then the next one's going to be on anger, levels of anger. Oh yeah, difficult topic. Levels of anger and how to settle that. And the levels of anger. Yeah, that's the big thing, to go through the levels of anger. Thank you for your views and subscriptions.